The Edify Show with special guest, Natasha Burnett. And now, the host of The Edify Show, Elliott.
Hi everyone, welcome to Hearties TV Tuesday on The Edify Show. I've got a great guest today. If you do not know the history of Natasha Burnett, it is fascinating. She is one incredibly talented person. I'm so grateful she shared her story with us. Let's take a look. Now, I want to make sure I say her name right. Is it Natasha?
You can say that, yeah.
Is that how you say it? How do you say it?
Well, we can't emphasize the T in England because it doesn't make sense, but Americans can because it makes sense to say Natasha as opposed to Natasha.
I'm curious now. How do you say it?
Natasha.
Natasha. I'm going to try. Okay. I'm going to give it a shot. Hi everyone, Elliott with The Edify Show. I am on the set of Wind Calls the Heart, and I am with Natasha Burnett. I am so excited to talk to you. Thanks so much for being on the program.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You know, we had a talk at some point, and I found you so incredibly fascinating. Your career, when did it start? Like, how old were you when you first were on a stage for money, for being paid?
Money,
for
okay.
money, yeah. We had to qualify that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, to be fair, for money, I was probably 19 because they do have a lot of theatre groups that you can do that's more your time than your money, right? Just for more experience that I did when I was 17 and 18. It was a younger generation theatre group that I was part of. And we used to rehearse in a church, and then there was a place called Fairfield Halls, or there is a place called Fairfield Halls. And that's one of the places that when you're doing theatre, you want to go and perform there, but they gave the opportunity to kids kind of maybe from about 8 to 18. This opportunity. So they funded it themselves, which was really great. And for 2 years, I got to do a theatre show.
And it was music initially, right? Like it was singing.
Yes.
That initially drew you to, to be on a stage and entertain people. And
yes.
So I'm so curious, have you always been singing like your whole life, or was it at church, or just when did you start to say, wow, I can actually do this. I can sing well. Because I can sing, been doing it my whole life. I can't sing well.
To be honest, there was never a moment where I thought, oh, I can sing well.
Oh, is that right? Today's the day.
Today's the day.
I didn't even want to tell you. I don't know what everybody's problem is. You can.
There was zero moment where I thought I could sing well. I just knew I wanted to be in the industry.
Wow.
And then I met a producer. And I started doing straight music because I was always like musical theatre. Mm-hmm. And then it went to straight music. But I didn't really enjoy that as much as I thought I would. Mm-hmm. I thought it would be kind of fun to produce your own music and your own songs and come up with the beats and the sounds. And it just didn't do it for me. And so I was like, okay, I'm crossing that off the list. But maybe not most entertainers, but maybe like some entertainers, you kind of hop from one thing to the next, trying to find what it is you're really passionate about.
Right.
Because you're passionate about the entertainment industry, but which area are you passionate about?
Right. So here's the question. Which area are you passionate about? What have we discovered at this point?
Well, I don't know if I prefer singing or acting. I actually don't. I think musical theatre is probably the perfect combination.
Right.
But yeah, I really don't know.
See, okay, can I compliment you? I think you're just phenomenal at both. And it's so easy to prove. It's so easy to prove because I've watched you transition from this incredible, British woman that I'm talking to Minnie, right? Okay, so just to illustrate, so I'm so curious because I've often wondered as I've watched you, I thought, which one would be scarier if you're the mad mom? Like, get your clothes out of the bathroom. Can I hear you say it is Natasha British, right? Get those clothes out of the bathroom right now, and then I want to hear Minnie say it.
Okay. And then you'll tell me which is scarier?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Get your clothes out of the bathroom now.
God, that's way scarier than I expected. Because when you're doing the British thing any other time, it's so soothing. That really wasn't. That was decidedly not soothing. Yeah. So now let's see the mini one.
Okay. is so ridiculous. Okay. Okay, let me get this. Get your clothes out of the bathroom now.
Wow, British was scarier.
I
can't
felt like
lie.
that.
You know why? Because it was real.
It was real, right?
It was real. Wow. Definitely, I can promise you, I don't think I'll ever close in any bathroom ever again.
It's gonna go around in your head, isn't it?
My wife thanks you. Yeah, but no, I just think so you can see where musical theater would just be this happy hybrid of both of them coming together. And I can see where, okay, now you tell me if I'm wrong, because I have a feeling I'm right.
Okay.
The thing is when you were in there creating music,
Yes.
it was all about the music.
Yes.
But the reason it didn't feed you is because when you're on a stage, it's really about the audience.
Yes.
Is that what am I correct?
Yes.
Just
yeah. I think it
affecting
was.
human
It was
beings.
actually that. It was just not the same feeling. And there are moments where I might randomly write a song and I will find beats and sounds on GarageBand and then try and create a song. But I'll do that every few years. But I have to feel like it.
Right.
But I did, just out of needing something to do, I did start doing house music. And that was like an avenue that I never thought that I would be enjoying.
So tell me what that means, because a lot of people don't know what is house music exactly.
Oh gosh, how do I explain this?
Is it like dance music or
Yeah,
is it okay?
kind of. I feel like, do you guys do techno?
Oh yeah,
Kind
sure.
of. It's kind of a dance techno mix kind of.
Yeah, I would do it now, but it would derail this whole interview. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it wouldn't be pretty. I'm just saying it would derail the interview. Yeah, but yeah, sure. So that kind of thing.
Yes.
That's so cool to me.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so cool to me. Yeah, I you may not have heard because I know you're new. I was voted best dancer in my high school. So
In your high school?
I was big high school too. It's like 2,300. But back then I could put my legs over my head, so that's pretty much all it took. Yeah.
Oh.
South Kids Up High. Anyway.
That was it?
Go
Oh my
Wolves.
gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really all it took.
No other requirements?
The bar was pretty low, but not anybody else could do it. Can you do it? I mean, it was kind of a big deal.
Fair, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. If I could do it, I couldn't undo it now. So that's kind of, I don't go there anymore. Yeah. But no, I think that's so cool that you can do it and that you actually create like lyrics to it and the whole thing. Well, I would personally love to hear it. I mean, I don't know how, but I would love to hear it. I think that's super cool. And so a lot of people don't know that you were, Diana Ross. What, like Diana Ross, there's a small like group club like at Whitney and Diana Ross. That's pretty high that you can even go and sing to her in a way that people can, or sing like her in a way that people would find that believable. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And tell me how in the world you also ended up doing Michael Jackson and the same thing, right? Like wow. Like, who could pull that off?
Okay.
That's range.
I wish the story about Michael Jackson was way more interesting than what I'm about to say.
Oh, no, just the statement's pretty
But
interesting.
it was about as simple as all the guys found the Michael Jackson songs too high.
Really?
That's like, so they were like, okay, well, if you're Diana Ross, you're the one that can pretty much, and you're small enough, like I was the shortest one, I was most petite, I'm the one that can do the quick change from Diana into Michael and then come back out ready to do ABC.
Okay, but still, that's some serious, bragging rights. Again, so would you do the dancing like Michael Jackson too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I was Michael Jackson when he was Billie Jeaning and Smooth Criminaling, right?
Right.
But Kid Michael, a few spins and, nothing crazy though.
I can tell you're not impressed, but please, I'm so impressed. I just think that me, I would love
so unimpressed by myself.
Yeah, I would just think that is so, yeah, I know, right? You still don't think you're a good singer. But so tell me, like, what made you decide, okay, I think I'm going to actually set this aside and actually try to be an actress, just an actress?
I played Diana Ross for 6 years.
Mm.
And by the end, I think I wasn't sure whether I wanted to leave the industry or I wanted to just find another job.
Right.
But I think I'd just been doing the same thing for a bit too long. So I moved to Australia with my partner at the time. And I decided, I got there and I thought, well, I'll do whatever I feel like, anything I want. And lo and behold, I find myself back in the industry. I was doing a cabaret show. It was a great dinner, like a dinner magic cabaret show. And I was the singer, and they had these aerialists with the hoops and all of that. And I would be singing, and then they'd be doing their performance. And it was really fun. But in between all of that, I thought, okay, well, I don't know anyone in Australia. I decided to go to NIDA, which is National Institute of Dramatic Arts, I think, in Australia. That could be so wrong. But basically, it's the Australian version of RADA.
Okay.
And so I did short courses there, a couple of short courses. I did screen acting one and musical theatre one. And definitely felt like the musical theatre one was my favourite one. And it happened to be from that one that I ended up getting myself an agent, because the pianist was like, do you have an agent? And I said, no. He's like, I need to put you in touch with my agent. You need to have an agent. And then also, because I'd done the short courses, people that were in the producer courses and the directing courses, they would do short films, and they would use people who had done these courses as their actors. And I went for 2 auditions for 2 shorts, and I got them both. And so I was like, oh, well, this is cool. I just got my start in, like short films, and it was just a nice experience.
Right.
However, I will say, before I even got to Australia, I was doing background and extras work in the UK. And I was doing that for a few years in between doing my Diana Ross. And that was just to understand what it's like to be on set and things like that.
Right.
And, sometimes they would feature me, can you talk to the actor? Oh, really, me? Okay, sure. And now I feel like I'm famous, right?
Right.
Things that I was on. And I would, you're watching it and you're like, pause. Yeah, that was me. Oh, running past the camera. Yeah.
That's hilarious. The 2 things that come to my mind is when they go, we'd like you to do it, that you'd say, well, sure, no problem. What accent? I only have 11, And then the other, does it give you a lot of sympathy for the background guys that when you see them
Oh
out
my
here?
goodness. So much. I remember being on one show as background, and we weren't being used at the time, but it was lunchtime. And so, of course, we think, okay, let's go and get lunch, because the actors hadn't been broken for lunch yet. They were like, step away from the table. Wait till the actors get here.
Oh, dear.
Okay. So, I mean, not that they do that.
No.
But it was just an experience where I just really felt like, oh, okay, so yeah. But I definitely feel for background, especially shows that I've done here. I was on a show called Unreal, and we were shooting in the middle of like midnight, August, but at that point it was so cold at midnight. And we were all in summer dresses and sandals. There was dew on the grass. It was cold. And they were trying to keep us warm. Like, there were so many actresses that were trying to keep us warm. And then there were a lot of background. And it's like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad for them. And there's like one heater. They're like, the actors can be around the heater. And I'm like looking at the background like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I could talk to you for an hour. I know they're calling you. I just can't wait to talk to you again. I'm so glad that you're on the show. I just think you're tremendously talented. I've enjoyed everything. I've enjoyed you at the Hearties family reunions. I've enjoyed you that. And it's so nice to finally talk to you in person. And thanks so much for being on my show. And that concludes this episode on Hearties TV Tuesday. Thank you so much to Natasha for being part of the program. And we'll see you guys next time right here on The Edify Show.
Don't miss the next episode of The Edify Show. Elliott will be interviewing lead actors Cindy Busby and Christopher Russell to talk about When Hope Calls. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube page. And never miss a thing when you register at hearties.com, where people around the world are coming together to support inspiring entertainment. And we'll see you next week on The Edify Show.